الحمد لله وكفى والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Within the science of tasawwuf, there is a concept called bila tama'. Bila tama'. Bila means without, and tama' means desire. Every person has two things within them: needs and desires. And it is the goal of every person who is striving on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to fulfill their needs, but to curtail their desires. Now you have to understand this. The best example is looking at those things in the Sharia which you shouldn't look at. For example, controlling your eyesight. If you're looking at something that you shouldn't be looking at, the source of that looking is desire, right? It's your hirs, it's your desire. It's something that you desire to do. And the only way you can stop yourself from doing that is you have to make yourself bila tama', meaning without desire. Why? Because desire has no end. So if today you look at someone, the next day you're going to continue to look. People think, okay, I'm not married, no, I can't control my eyes. The reason why is because I'm not married. Then they get married, and then it's even worse. They are even less able to control their eyes. Then some people say, I can control my eyes, but the reason I'm having trouble is because I'm young. And actually, when they get older, they even have more trouble controlling their eyes. So one of the principal reason why people have difficulty controlling their eyes is not because they're not married, not because of their age, not because of their environment, which we tend to blame all the time. We always say, what can I do? It's my environment. The environment is so difficult. It's not because of your environment, it's because of the desire that exists within you. That's the actual reason, that's the actual problem. So what people always say, they come and they say, I'm not married, what am I going to do? I'm having such a hard time. And actually the problem is not that you're not married, the problem is the desire that exists within you. And you see it, look, after i'tikaf, or after the month of Ramadan, or after you attend some talk and you spend some time in the company of someone righteous, you don't look. And even when you look and you know something is coming from the other end of the street, you still put your eyes down and you can confidently put your eyes down and you won't look. But then later on, those effects wear off. And the reason is because this desire is within us. So the thing that we have to do is that we have to make ourselves bila tama', without desire. And the way you do it is two ways. Number one is you recall the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, كُلِّ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. Every time you're out of your house, this should be your dhikr as you walk through the streets. كُلِّ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. Tell the mu'mineen that they should lower their gaze. This is the ayah of the Holy Quran. It's a commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which requires us to lower our gaze. And the second thing that we have to do is make ourselves bila tama'. Bila tama' means to realize and to understand and to appreciate that there is no benefit in looking. Look, you look at 25 people, it's not going to change. Nothing is going to change. You are not going to meet that person, do anything with that person, get married to that person. What benefit did you get out of taking that second look? Nothing. Except you destroyed your iman. Your iman stays. You don't leave the fold of Islam by making this mistake. But you lose the taste of your iman. So that emptiness that exists within you, that lack of concentration within the salah, the lack of desire to pray the salah, all of that is a result of this. So we have to make ourselves bila tama', meaning without desire. And one of the greatest ways to do it is to just realize, think about it rationally. We're so rational. We go to college, we go to school, we study. It's so rational. What are you going to do? So what if you see that thing that you shouldn't have seen 2 or 3 times? So what if you take a 4th look? How is it going to benefit you? Are you going to get up and marry that person? Obviously not. Are you going to get some benefit from that person? Obviously not. But the only thing we end up doing is destroying ourselves. So we have to be very, very careful about what we look at. It has a huge effect on our iman. Now there's an ayah in the Holy Quran, يَوْمَ يَسْأَلُ الصَّادِقِينَ عَنْ صِدْقِهِمْ. The day that the truthful will be asked about their truth. Sidq in its highest form in tasawwuf means that you are true in your deeds and your words. Meaning what you say is what you do, and what you do is what you say. That's the essence of truth within Islam. That when you speak the truth, and when you speak, it's things that you act. And when you act the truth, and it's exactly what you speak. There's no deviation between speaking and acting within your deeds. That's called sidq. That's the highest level of sidq. Now you think about this ayah is incredible. يَوْمَ يَسْأَلُ الصَّادِقِينَ عَنْ صِدْقِهِمْ. The day that the Sadiqeen will be asked about their sidq. What is Allah saying? Think about it for about 2 minutes. What is Allah saying in this ayah? The day that the truthful will be asked about their being true. Meaning the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described as truthful in the Quran, the ones that Allah is saying that they are truthful, they will be asked about their sidq. So if the truthful people will be asked about their sidq, then what about those people who weren't truthful? Where will they be on the Day of Judgment? Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be so deep in His taking into account of our deeds that the truthful whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself is calling truthful, they will be asked about their truthfulness. So where does it leave the people who were false? Who were false in their deeds and in their sayings? Who claimed to be Muslims yet did everything that a non-Muslim does? So we have to be very, very understanding of these realities that exist within us. Because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask the people who are true about their state, then there's no hope for those people who are false. They will definitely be asked, and they will definitely be taken into account. So these are the realities of the Day of Judgment, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask the truthful about their truthfulness. So where will we be on that day? So it is our goal, our desire, one of our principles that we make ourselves bila tama. Now, desire never has an end. If you have a desire to look at those things that you shouldn't look at, it will never end. Today you'll look at one thing, and that desire will not be fulfilled. Tomorrow you'll look at the next thing, and the third day you'll look at the next thing, and it will never end. It's not that if I just take this one look now and I look at that, then inshallah I won't look next time. Desire never ends. So your goal is to crush your desire. Necessity ends. Necessity has a limit. For example, within the Sharia, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for us marriage. There's a necessity. There's a certain degree of necessity that a man and a woman have to interact with one another. And so Allah created marriage. If you stay within the bounds of necessity, then you will fulfill your necessities, and inshallah you'll be able to progress in your path towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you cross that, and you enter into the realm of desire, your desires will never end. Those desires will drag you by your throat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's court on the Day of Judgment, and that will be a scary sight. And they will never end. So your goal is to crush your desire and to fulfill your necessities. This is essential within the deen. To crush your desires. When you have something that you desire that is limitless, then you have to curtail and crush that desire, but fulfill your necessities through the actions of the deen within the realm of the Sharia. So there's a beautiful example for us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us on that day, يَوْمَ يَسْأَلُ الصَّادِقِينَ عَنْ صِدْقِهِمْ, because if the truthful will be asked about their truth, and who knows where we'll be in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the final day.